Mama, stop it.
Stop what? Huh? Trying to save my son's life? I will not stop. I can't.
Of course you can't.
How can you condemn Sheridan to a life of servitude?
Louise, please.
No, I want her to understand what she's doing. You really want Sheridan to spend the rest of her life taking care of a man who can't love her? Or bring her happiness or even children?
No. Of course that's not what I want. Sheridan, I promise you right now that if Antonio takes this drug and it doesn't cure him, I will relieve you of the burden. Okay, I will gladly spend the rest of my life taking care of my son.
I could never have you do that.
Don't you understand? My life is falling apart. My family is disintegrating. I want you and Luis to be happy. I do, but not at the expense of losing my Antonio. So I pray that you decide to give Antonio this drug.
Don't let her pressure you into a bad decision, Sheridan.
Wow, you really are prepared to withhold the drug from your brother that could save his life, possibly even cure him. Would you really be able to just let your brother die?
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
You're telling me that you would let your brother die. May God have mercy on you.
Mama, I'll handle this, okay? Miguel. Got it?
I have never been more disappointed in you in my entire life. You, of all people, a person who has risked his life many times of a stranger, would not lift a finger to save his own brother. He's lying in there, unconscious, hovering someplace between life and death, with only his family to count on. And here you are, his trusted brother, literally sending him to his grave.
You don't understand.
Yes, I do. I understand all too well. You want him dead, and we all know why. You have told me that nothing is more important to you than your family. Me, your brothers, your sisters. Was that a lie?
No.
Then how can you stand there and tell me that you will let your brother die? I'm ashamed to call you my son.
Mama. Mama,
God,
please.
Luis, I'm sorry. God. No matter what I'm feeling, I should have never raised my hand. There's no excuse.
It's okay.
It's not Mijo.
Look, I just need you to understand what I meant before. Look, when I said that I didn't want Antonio to take that experimental drug, it's just out of respect for his own wishes.
I know what your brother said on that video.
That's what he asked for. Come on. You know Antonio as well as I do. He wouldn't want to be a burden on the people that he loves or the people that loved him. And he certainly wouldn't want Sheridan to sacrifice her life to be a nursemaid.
Yo sé, Luis, pero...
Look, I would give my own life to save Antonio's. I don't want him to die.
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said that you wanted him dead.
It's not anyone's fault, Pilar. It's just a terrible situation, and there's no clear or easy answers. I'm sorry that any of you have to go through this.
How much time do we have before we decide about the drug, Eve?
I think we have to decide immediately. I'm afraid the drug has to be administered right away if it's going to work at all. As his wife, Sheridan, it's all up to you.
I know what my son said to you in that video, to all of us. But I implore you, Sheridan, please say yes to this experimental drug. It's the only hope we have to save my son.
is not fair. Come on, this is hard enough on Sheridan without trying to make her feel guilty on top of everything else.
I've wanted to. It's best for Antonio. Then do it. Tell Eve to administer the experimental drug.
It's not that simple. Even Antonio saw that. That's why he made the videotape. Now, if Sheridan gives her consent to the drug and it doesn't cure him, then... well, Antonio could be incapacitated for the rest of his life. And Antonio didn't want Sheridan to sacrifice her life to be his nurse.
Well, sometimes marriage requires a sacrifice. That's why the words in sickness and in health are in the vows. I know what Antonio said on the tape. Of course he loves you, and he didn't want to cause you any difficulty. But you are his wife. And it is your duty to take care of him, no matter what.
Mama, stop. Please. When you're making a terrible decision, even harder. Well, nobody wants Antonio to die. But I know that Antonio wouldn't want to be kept alive just because technology has found a way to keep his heart and mind going, even though the rest of him is quit. Imagine the hell of being trapped in a shell, paralyzed, desperate to communicate your thoughts, even though you can't. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I don't think you would either.
Where there is life, there's hope. And medicine is finding cures all the time. Look, your brother wanted to live badly enough to marry Sheridan. He had hopes and dreams for a future with the woman that he loves. And the least that we and Sheridan can do is to give those hopes and dreams a chance.
Putting Sheridan in the worst possible position. She just wants to carry out Antonio's wishes.
Well, nobody would wish to die if they knew they had a chance to live, Lisa.
The odds are against him, Pilar.
I don't care if it's 1 in a million, Eve. We're talking about my son, your husband, and your brother. Sheridan, I know you're conflicted about your feelings for Luis, but that doesn't change the fact that you married Antonio. You made a commitment to stand by him until one of you died. Are you so unhappy about the vow that you took that you would hasten Antonio's death? You must tell Eve to give Antonio this drug. It's the only chance he has to survive.
I don't want him to die either.
And tell Eve to go ahead. Sheridan, in a matter of life and death, you always choose life, no matter what. I beg you, please. Do what you know in your heart is right.
Mama, stop it. Please. And don't guilt Sheridan into making a decision she isn't comfortable with.
Comfortable? We're talking about my son's life here. There's no question about what should be done.
Sheridan, I don't want to add to your pressure, but Antonio is my patient. And I am the executrix of his living will. And you have to understand that if you choose to give Antonio the drug, I need to know that you're committed to staying with him if he becomes incapacitated. Do you remember what Antonio said on the tape? That he only wants to live if he thinks you're going to be there with him. That even if he was in a coma, he'd be able to sense whether you were there or not.
I'm begging you, Sheridan, as your husband's mother.
I'm here for you.
Okay, well, we have to make some decisions here. So, Sheridan, if you choose to give Antonio the drug, are you going to stay with him?